morning. Well, I'm moved from the back to front garden. So these are the perennial beds. I've cleaned out the bird bath. We'll put fresh water in and big project today. So all the edging gets done, all the litter gets cleaned out. I have a couple roses I need to cut back a little bit. Just so I can see what I'm working with. This bed really does need to be reworked a little bit. The daisies have taken over. They were Shasta daisies, and I'm ready to have some of those go to the way back garden. But everything is emerging, so it really is. And these stalks I don't throw away. I put them in the back in case there are insects living in, beneficial insects living inside. I just stack them next to my compost pile, probably till June, and then I go ahead and mulch them. They'll all go in the compost bin. Everything here will be recycled. We're trying really hard to have a circular homestead. I guess you call this a homestead. Everything we try to keep stays on site. The only thing I take off site, because I can't get my compost pile up to a really hot compost pile like the municipal compost piles do, um, diseased tomato plants, anything that has disease to it. Mint, I just culled a lot of my mint yesterday. So that is going somewhere else. I am not putting that in my compost pile because I don't need mint all over my yard. Um, but anything like that goes to a municipal compost pile to be composted. Um, Yesterday was a huge day. I'll take you in the back. I got all 4 of my raised beds done and planted. So all the brassicas are now planted. That's huge. And I also planted my celery yesterday. And this part of our yard we use for fires and to sit out and have dinner in and just kind of hang out. And so I like it to look pretty. So this is a perennial bed. I do have Monarda in here for tea, but there are other things in here that are edible. Um, the econitum is not edible. It's poisonous, but I have sage growing. I have parsley growing, coreopsis. I have some Japanese cutleaf peonies that are getting ready to bloom. So that's exciting. The poppies here are, I always love to see those. I planted a lot of breadseed poppies. These are the Orientalis poppies. I have 3 types of irises, and my irises have cross-pollinated, so I'm getting some really weird varieties, but it doesn't matter. They're pretty, so I leave them. These are the tulips the deer didn't eat. The ones in the back corner, they did eat. So this area, they also ate my daylilies. So this year, to keep the deer out of this garden, I know there are certain things they love to eat. I am taking a bamboo stick. I thought I had a piece of bamboo here. I don't. But anyway, a bamboo stick and a little cotton ball on the top soaked in Vicks Vapo Rub. Just smear it with Vicks Vapo Rub, rubber band it to the top, and stick it in your hostas, your daylilies. And I had pretty good luck last year. It should leave them alone. So I will show you what I'm using for borders this year, and I'll give you the tour. This area is just a very small bed, but I pack a lot of punch into it. Last year I had peppers, hot peppers in here. It gets pretty good sun. It gets hot afternoon sun. So this year I've put in 3 types of celery. I'll have flowers behind this. Oh, I have strawberries in the front, and they cascade over this rock border. And they also make it easier to pick the strawberries. And then running up the trellis, last year I had cucumbers, but we got hit with the cucumber beetle pretty badly. So this year I'm using parthenocarpic cucumbers, and I'm going to grow those in the hoop house. They don't need to be pollinated, which we all love that. So, but I have several types of melons I'm trying this year. So I'm going to trellis the melons and see how they do over here. Then I have some dianthus mixed in here. I will probably put zinnias in here. I have a really pretty zinnia, and this is my gigantic rhubarb. Oh my gosh, I planted this probably 20 years ago. I will never get it out of the ground. I have tried to dig it out. The root ball is as big as a UPS truck. so it's never coming out. It is there for, it's like the horseradish. But it's great here. And I don't use it, I don't use a lot of rhubarb, but it I like it here. It's a nice entryway to the studio. So I'll show you where else I planted celery, and I can show you my start. Okay, this is the celery I planted yesterday. It's a variety I haven't grown before. It's called Utah Tall. And I also have Tango and Kelvin, which are in the other beds. Here too, I've lined this whole brick border with strawberries, and they tend to grow into the bed. So this time of the year, I just pop them out and replant them next to the border. Also in the back where I put those new beds, each one of those cement block holes will get a strawberry transplant. So I did this last year. We had strawberries, in 4 beds, just as border plants. And we got about 30 pounds of strawberries. And it looks nice. Towards fall, they start to tend to want to take over. But that is a great time to cut them back and then plant them wherever you would like strawberries, or give them to your neighbors. Who doesn't love strawberries? This is an everbearing quinault, I think is the name of it. All my starts are out here. I would love to have these stay out, but Saturday we go back into, with the wind chill, we'll be back in the high 40s, high 30s, low 40s with wind chill. So they're going to have to be shuffled back in the house. The big thing I can tell you about tomatoes that I've learned growing over the years, when you have starts like this, if your nights are warmer than your days, you'll get nice, stocky, beefed up tomatoes. You won't get leggy, stretchy tomatoes. So I think it's worth it to drag them in and out of the house. The house at night's about 68, 65 degrees. And then during the day, they're out here. And I give them plenty of water. They get fertilized once every 2 weeks. And these are probably the best starts I've grown. So, but I've been diligent about running them in and out of the house when they need to be. So they had their first night outside last night, and I think I'm going to leave them out tonight because we're supposed to get rain. I would much rather give them rainwater than anything I can give, like faucet water, which I do leave for 24 hours to let the chlorination come out of it. But I think rainwater is still the best, and my rain barrels aren't hooked up yet. So chicken coop got dewinterized today. That was good, but I'll take you in the back now and show you the finished beds. I'm so happy that project is done. Now I can jump back on getting the fence done. Spring is like Super Bowl time. These are the beds I finished yesterday. So you can see all the cubes are filled, and these will all be filled with strawberries. Everything in here is a brassica. I have Romanesco broccoli in the back and cabbage up in the front here. Fern has eaten the broccoli 3 times. More Chinese cabbage, and I think I have more Romanesco broccoli in there, which Fern also ate. This will also get strawberries. The back is coming along. These squares I haven't filled up yet, so I will fill the bottom third with wood chips, bottom third, more like 2/3, and then I'll top it off with, I have topsoil compost in the wheelbarrow over there. So these got put in a while ago. I was hoping they'd look a little perkier, but they don't. I think they're just going through a little bit of shock. And then I have this one done, and this is cabbage and kale. And so that is everything in these. These are all brassicas in these 4 beds. I'm so thrilled this is done. This was a ton of work, but so worth it because they're here now. Also worked on the chicken coop a little bit yesterday, and I've started flipping my compost pile. So this is my setup for my compost. This is all wood chips. I've never had this before, but I love it. I love having that. And that was filled, oh my gosh, above the top bar last year. So it has shrunk down that much. So I think I filled that up in August. Then this is a working compost pile, and this is finished compost. And you can see I'm almost out of finished compost. This is the chicken run, and this all gets swept up and thrown in the compost pile. I cleaned the chicken coop out the other day. But as soon as that's gone, which will probably be by next week, then this will get flipped into here. And all these boards are removable from side to side and from front to front. So it makes it real easy to flip it. I've had this system in place now, gosh, probably over 20 years. The end, I had two originally, and then I realized I needed a third. So I just made that out of pallets. And I like it because I can get to it. I don't have any bars that go across it. But in my humble opinion, I think everyone should have, no matter how small, a compost pile somewhere. If it's just a barrel that turns, that will add more to your garden, I think, than anything else. And as far as the chickens go, they really add to that compost pile. All that litter decomposes. It's just the best thing you can do for a compost pile. I would love to get a couple rabbits too. I think rabbit manure would be even better than chicken manure. So if I can't find chickens this year, I'll probably come back and get a couple of rabbits at the feed and seed. We've started chipping our brush piles. This is just my little Troy-Bilt chipper. I got it off Facebook Marketplace. It's run great. I've been really happy with it. This is our chicken coop. It was my kids' old wooden swing set, and my kids are now like, one's almost 40. So that tells you how old it is. This is my next project. I'm reworking, taking all the chicken wire off, putting in hardware cloth because all the little birds, the juncos, the sparrows can fly through the chicken wire. And after losing most of my flock to avian bird flu last year, I've just decided that this needs to be a lot more tight. I have a couple gaps too, and this will also be where my rain barrels will line up my rain barrels across the back, and I'll be catching all the rain that runs off of this shed roof, which is a lot of water. And then I can water my back gardens. So this is all stuff. These are like my summer projects. So stay tuned because there's a lot of work this year. But the next project is to get the rain barrels hooked up. I have some going on the side of the garage, and then I'm hoping to put IBC totes along the side here, down the side. The IBC totes I'm looking at are 275 gallons per tote. But when we had a drought last summer, and I had 250 gallons of water, and I was draining that empty every month. So, and that was just for my side gardens. So it really, I mean, if you have flowers and vegetables, and that was with heavy mulch. So I even used a lot of mulch, and it was just so hot and so dry. I'm hoping we don't have another summer like that. But after going through that, I, it's like I'd rather be prepared than ill prepared. So that's what's going on. I'm going to get on the perennial bed and well, that was the day. We hit 84 degrees today. So we've gone, so I mean, we have just gone from one end to the spectrum to the other in the weather. A little warmer than I like it, a lot warmer than I like it, but the whole perennial bed on both sides of the yard are done now. The edging is done. I do a real deep edging, and then I put a row of mulch, and then I really don't have to touch it again. I will probably put, I have a little steel electric edger, and I run that around probably 3 times in the summer. But that, if I can deep weed the edging, and then put the mulch over it, what an easy way to keep a clean line on your garden. I really like that definition in my garden. Um, but it was a big day. The chicken coop is done. It's not refurbished, but the winterizing is down. Everything is put away. Perennial beds are done. Edging is done. And now the next step will be to go down the south side and work my way to the front. Tomorrow we have an 88% chance of rain, and then on the weekend we dip back into the 40s, and with the wind, maybe high 30s. So I will be happy to see that weather. Anyway, that's a day in the garden, and yeah, it is a bit of work, but it's like if you put your work in now this time of the year, it pays off in spades. So as we go through the year, I'll take pictures of what's going on. And it's so exciting to see new plants coming up. Plants I haven't seen for a year. The Japanese cutleaf peony it comes and goes very quickly. And then I won't see it again until next year. But the peonies are coming up. Everything is emerging. I leave a lot of stalks up so I know where those plants are. I have a milkweed, the pink one. Can't remember the name off the top of my head, but as these grow, I'll go through and identify things. If anybody is interested in plant identification, the north side of the garden pretty much is all vegetables. I do intersperse flowers in there. I put zinnias and marigolds in there. And I have some nicotiana, the woodland nicotiana that I like a lot. It gets huge though. It's such a Dr. Seuss plant. So I have those started, and I have a lot of status to put out this year because I like it in the winter. It gives me some color in the winter. Great dried flower. I also have some bachelor buttons that I need to put out back. So there's, I feel like we're making a dent though. I feel like we're moving forward. So I got to go get cleaned up for dinner, and Prince Charming should be arriving at any moment. So cheers. Everybody have a great day. Enjoy your garden. And I'm going to sit here. This is lemonade, lemon water with ice and a little bit of maple syrup. That's like, that'll be my recharging drink for today. So cheers.